select right now. Yeah. So,
Okay, great.
or whatever it is. So we're gonna see that spectator delay. It's gonna happen. Let's see. He does have TP this time. He has
Hmm.
TP this time. It looks like it's going to be GP mid. I think he's playing top. He did take his teleport. Um, ooh boy, ooh boy. If he is top lane, his matchup is into Nasus. Ooh
That
boy.
should be easy for the Rise. As I mean, so Nasus is going to be able to lifesteal back and have that tremendous amount of sustain, but the onslaught damage DPS of Rise in the game as a mage is up there with Cassiopeia, where he can dish out a ton of damage over a long period of time. So we'll see. Uh, the top lane matchup is basically going to be that. Can the Nasus out sustain the damage of the Rise before Rise runs out of mana? So that's
Yeah.
going to be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah. And then they do have actually pretty good forms of safe engage as far as Thresh Hook, Ash Arrow, it looks like. You already have GP ult for that slow and AoE damage that's going to happen as well. You will have Rise port if you need to get behind the team. And you're going to have an Evelynn on the map walking around. She is taking Ignite, which is pretty highly expected, honestly. It's not very shocking that she's going to take Ignite because it's just, I mean, it's aggressive. And, you know,
Yeah,
a lot of
she's a
times.
kill-oriented champion. Doesn't really need the flash because she has that invisibility, right? And so, um, I think that's absolutely fine for an Evelynn to take ignite, take some kills, get ahead in the game, and do what that Warwick did, and just really facilitate kills and try to really set up your laners for mid game.
Yeah, so let's see. Yep, it is going to be GP mid. It is the Nasus matchup. The gangplank into Kassadin is going to be very interesting, I think. It's going to be probably enjoyable to watch if they even remotely know how to play gangplank.
Yeah, those trades are going to be really interesting because of the cast Q giving him an MR shield, a magic shield. It is possible for the Gangplank to eventually out damage him, mana for mana, damage for damage, because that shield isn't really going to help cast in most mage versus mage situations, right? Because what most Cassidans want to do is use that Q to poke or farm, and that shield in order to wait till level 6 where they have that gap closer and they could be the assassin that they want to be. He needs to survive that laning phase, and it might not be possible. If Gameplay is smart, I actually think he should get a Triforce here. Start with the Sheen so that way you can smack him with your Q and then
Yep.
walk up and auto him and get that extra AD damage off. And then going into Triforce would really help with those all-in situations where the Kassadin is going to jump on him. He wants that extra move speed. He wants that extra damage from the Sheen. And I think Triforce would be really smart for this Gangplank mid. We'll see what he ends up choosing. If he ends up deciding to go aggressive, which aggressive item he wants to get. And if he decides to go defensive, which defensive items he wants to get. I think going defensive is going to be the wrong decision for the Gangplank here. He should be aggressive. And I
Uh-huh.
think that might be part of the reason why he picked Gangplank in the first place. I really wish we got to see picks and bans if this Gangplank was a response to the Kassadin or the Kassadin was a response to the Gangplank.
Um, so based upon where they were sitting,
Hmm.
it looked like Gangplank was picked first.
Okay,
As actual first pick.
interesting.
Yeah. So
So picking Kassadin into the Gangplank,
maybe
I
maybe he didn't know because I think it was far enough down. Um,
right.
because I
They,
believe,
he could have thought it was Rise mid.
yeah, right. He would have thought it was Rise mid. That would have been understandable.
That's also possible.
Well,
So we'll see if either of them then know how to play this matchup. If they're strong players, I mean, I tell this every once in a while. The game starts as soon as you are in the loading screen. You should be thinking about the game, thinking about what summoner spells the enemy team has, what items that they have. And this Gangplank, I think, has the position to itemize and completely dominate this Kassadin if he plays the lane right and if he plays his items right.
yeah, he definitely can do quite a bit. One of the things I want to point out is in chat, Cab is apparently tilted because the Evelynn has Storm Raider Surge, which, you know, for me, I don't see anything wrong with it, but
Yeah.
he's tilted. So
I think it's perfectly fine, especially against really squishy champions like Soraka and MF here.
Death Sentence is gonna land. Level 1. I don't know how much damage we're gonna do here.
Poor decision making from the Thresh here, smacking away at the MF when he should be going for the Soraka. Yeah, the pull on the MF was good, but Ashe was really smart in recognizing this is a Soraka lane. She's just gonna heal that back up if we hit her, so he ends up hitting the Soraka instead.
Oh, good damage. Whoa, boy.
Yeah, mana for mana in terms of damage, those Q trades are going to go in the favor of Gangplank. That's absolutely not surprising. We'll see if he ends up netting a kill for it.
Wow. Okay, so for the most part, what we're going to see here is going to be a lot of poke, a lot of CC coming out from the side of your extraction squad. We're going to hope that we get some clean engages going, because I really want to see what's going to happen when as far as team fights go. I mean, like I said, you have a bunch of ways to get onto champions from that side, but on the side of Shoutcast and Recovery, not much.
Yeah, one of those team comps where they use their face and
Evelyn showing top really quick. Oh, I thought she might have tried to get greedy there. Ignite is used. Warwick coming up, gonna try and clean this up. Flash forward, gonna get that Q. Woo, for first blood. Warwick putting in work already. Oh boy, good counter gank on that side.
Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time, doing the typical clear route that I personally enjoy from several seasons ago, where a lot of those ganks happen at around the 3.5 minute mark. If you start if you're red side and you start at blue and you go to wolves and red, you get to be top-sided around that time. Looks like Warwick's back top, getting some extra damage off on the rise there.
Yep, gonna see a lot of that, most likely. GP bullying. Actually just bullying. And yes, it's only a 3 CS lead right now, but the amount of damage, as we were saying, the trades that's going to happen. He's going to Q him again. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is possible for GP to Q flash auto Thunderlord's proc kill the Cassidy right now. We'll see how fast he is at doing it. If not, he should just make the Cassidy back. End up getting a CS and item lead.
The play into the Soraka getting caught out. There's going to be a flash heal going out there. That was Soraka
Warwick's
heal.
Here.
Warwick is coming in, but I don't think the Thresh saw it. The Thresh was really out of position. Saddest thing is they had wards.
Yeah,
MF
he just walked through it.
Yeah, he walked right through that ward, and the Ashe was backing off. Thresh still looking to make a play and gets caught out pretty easily. Rye's going to get Rune Prison down. Plenty of mana. He's running ahead. Kiting forward. Going to get... Oh my good. Throw another one. Throw another one. Take that. Essence Flux. Get him. Get him. Auto attacks. And at the same time, Warwick looking at bottom. He's caught out right now with the Evelyn. Warwick going to get picked up at the same time. And Nasa's trying to play hide and seek with the Rise at top lane. He's like, if I stand here, he'll think I'm gone.
Some fun little plays going around there.
Oh, boy.
I thought that was a really interesting trade at top lane. Rise doing a good job kiting forward and seeing that the Nasus doesn't really have a lot of mana and really making sure that he gets that kill. Because if he didn't, he's out of mana and back in lane. And so he needed to get that kill in order to make sure that he had enough.
Evelyn sitting in that brush. Oh, instant flash away. Oh, that side is going to land. She does not have flash. Going to get picked up by the Ashe.
Yeah, good focus on the Soraka there. If you're Soraka, all you got to do is play super far back, keep healing your MF. Even if the MF gets pulled, there's still ways for you to help him out.
Oh, the auto trades. Another Q. Woo, Thunderlord's proc. That's 3/4 health, buddy. And let's not talk about the Soraka, please. Oh, barrel chain gonna land. He does have flash. Not even gonna flash. You know what? I love the resource use there. Gangplank holds his flash. Finishes the Cassidy with ultimate instead, because it's far shorter cooldown.
Yeah, and he's going to need that flash, especially if he's going to get ganked by Warwick with a level 6 Cassidy in there. Evelyn showing up. I really like this play from Evelyn here. Good decision making to go mid. Sees that there's a big creep wave there. She's going to help GP push. And you know what? She wasn't there for the kill. She didn't really contribute anything, but she's like, hey, I'm here just in case Warwick shows up. Let's get this turret at 6 or 7 minutes into the game. That's already a first turret.
Yeah, Warwick gonna do a good job trading for Infernal there. He saw where the Evelyn was. Not worried about it.
Yep. Smart decision there by Warwick as well, saying, okay, what can I trade for that? They're gonna get this turret. They're obviously, taking it down. And so he ends up getting the Infernal as well, which is going to be pretty good, especially for that Gangplank who wants a lot of that extra damage scaling for mid and late game.
Nasus canceling his auto attacks a bunch.
Nasus out of mana. He doesn't want to take this fight anymore.
That Nasus E uses a lot of mana. And it's pronounced mana. Thank you.
Mana.
Mana. Thank you.
I disagree.
Stream chat. Mana or mana? Just saying.
MF getting some good damage on the
Making it rain. Making it rain. Soraka just hanging back. And I said, let's not talk about Soraka, the anti-fun champion, okay? Literally, anti-fun champion. The MF doing a lot of damage, though. Playing smart, staying forward. Whenever you see people doing that when they have a Soraka, they're like, oh, just go ahead, hit me with anything. GP getting good trades. Oh my goodness, the exhaust's gonna go down. Flash over the wall, and we said it earlier, Gun. That flash comes in useful to pick up another kill. This Cassidy's gonna be so far behind now. Warwick, Infinite Duress gonna land onto the Rise. Rise gonna try and hit him with a bunch of damage there. He's gonna get out, though. He's gonna get out. We're okay.
Yeah, really nice decision making for the Gangplank there to hold that flash from the first fight, using it for the second fight, and ending up getting another kill. Not only that, he has a serrated Dirk and a Sheen in his pocket. He knows this matchup. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he understands, okay, I know my champion. I know how these trades are going to go. The Kassadin, I'm going to force him into a position where he might have to think about getting a Zonias or something, because I'm going to shred his armor. The Sheen also really doing work there because of the fact that Kassadin Q isn't going to do anything to block that damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That opening damage, oh my goodness, that was a well-placed Ash Arrow. That
really good Ash Arrow from downtown, getting that, helping get that kill, because I think there was a possibility that MF could have lived there.
Wow, GP damage is ridiculous right now. He's got those 2 kills in his pocket. He's sitting up, oh my god, about 1,500 gold above the Kassadin right now.
And he's got about 1,300 now because of that turret in his pocket.
Oh, wow. Yep. Talk about a gold increase. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's smart for this GP to go Triforce here, like we talked about at the beginning of the game. What that means is he's going to establish a lot of mid-game dominance with that Triforce and the serrated dirt to boot. So I think that's going to really help destroy Kassadin, Soraka, and MF, which is kind of his job at this point.
Good bullet time to clear the wave. Make sure they don't get this. They are asking for a lot of help here. I don't think this is wise to chase. They don't see the Evelyn anymore.
Big 4v4.
Kassadin making his way over. He only has a blasting wand, though. Evelyn going to be sitting in that brush when Warwick comes around. The heal's going to come out. That sentence is going to miss, but Ash picks it up. Going to get that red buff transfer. And the flash forward. The Flay going to pull back too. Ash flashes forward with the red buff. There comes the Soraka flash as well. MF going to get picked up on the backside barrier, actually. Whoa, and Thresh is going to finish that one off. With Kassadin still hanging around on the side of the wall here. Going to look to jump over. GP heading him off with barrels already. Oh, barrel chain going to hit. And, oh, the Kassadin picks up the GP really quickly with that burst damage. Is he's getting out?
I'm actually really surprised by that. Yeah, I think it's possible for him to get out.
Oh! Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Volley? No volley.
He doesn't have a turret.
Nope.
Thresh is going for the cutoff. It's possible for Earth and Thresh to catch this.
Minion wave. Oh, Death Sentence lands. Wow, that was clutch. That was clutch, boys and girls.
I wonder if if Kassadin didn't have enough mana there to cast his next one. It looked like he did, but because of the fact that the Kassadin ultimate costs more mana every time he does it, I don't think he did have enough mana for it. Ends up getting caught by the Thresh Q, which was really well placed. Those 90-degree shots are not easy. Really great job by the Thresh there to flank and find the right position to catch him out. Oh,
yeah, he was, you know what, there was a lot of good positioning by this bot lane. I want to say that, definitely. You know, we talked about the bad mistake that was, you know, level 1 of the target selection there, but making up for it right now, because what we're seeing is the, especially the Ashe and the Thresh working very well together.
Now this top lane, we haven't really been focusing on it for a while. Let's see the status of it. Ryze only has 70 CS versus the 85 of the Nasus. Nasus naturally building that Spirit Visage into the Ryze to help him with his lifesteal. What ends up happening now is look at that Ryze mana. He doesn't have enough to kill the Nasus. And he's also falling behind in CS, so Nasus is eventually going to have more damage than the Ryze. It's going to be possible for Nasus to take down that Rise. We'll see how this top attention goes now that bottom and mid has been dealt with. I think there's going to be a big fight up here.
Party at top lane. Evelyn's sitting in the brush right now. Or, not in the brush, just in the lane. DP ult. Barrel trigger. Exhaust going to fly down here. Runic Prison's going to drop. Oh my god, Infinite Duress going to come through. Going to pick it up. Soraka's up top. Nothing's going to die on the side of Shoutcast and Recovery. Nasa's going to smash his Q. It's on like a 2-second cooldown right now. Keep smashing Q. Hey, you always got mana for it. See, look at that. Look at that. See?
Insane.
See? It's like
where is he getting this
30.
mana from?
It's like 30 mana. It's nothing. It's nothing. It always looks like he's out of mana and you still can Q. Broken.
Insane. I think it is. Doesn't even have boots. Doesn't need him. Ends up smacking away with his cane and showing them
And
the pin around
Rise walking into the pimp. Rise. Yo, that's racist, gun.
You haven't heard that word in a while, have you?
Oh boy. I wonder if they could get. Hey, chat. What do you guys think? Is it okay or is it endorsing bad behavior if Riot made a pimp NASA skin? Like literally hat with a feather in it. And
was it no? It was gentleman.
Gentleman, yeah. And
yeah, that's right.
If he had a pimp hat with a feather in it, like
I want to see that purple velvet coat.
The purple velvet coat with the like leopard on the collar.
Yep.
And
I'd like to see that.
And the goldfish in the platform shoes.
Yep.
They would just call it disco. They would just call it disco.
Look,
they would just call it disco Nasus to get away with it.
Yeah.
And those big sunglasses, they would just call it that. And people were like, man, that's a pimp. Everybody knows that's a pimp.
Give him the cane for acting up.
Oh my god. Oh, Riot, please make this. Somebody clip it and send it to Riot. That would be amazing.
Eve getting caught out here.
Eve definitely getting caught out. Silence. Perfect silence by the Soraka there. Oh my goodness. Ash gonna trade that back over. Soraka gonna waste her heal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Run, Ash. Run faster than that, Ash. Oh, she gets the tree back on the Soraka, being out of position.
Not bad for the Ashe in that situation, being that far forward. Ends up getting 2 kills. No reason for the Soraka to step up there and, you know, try to help out. She already did help by getting the slow off.
And Raya's gonna get the Rune Prison down here. Nasa's looking to get some Qs in, but GP helping out. Ignite as well. Gonna take away some of that healing. Is he gonna look to just try and run back into the brush? Okay. I was hoping that Thrush didn't take that one.
Yeah, his auto attack was in the air. I mean, I've seen a lot of situations where supports take easy kills like that. Ryze had full mana, full HP. They had a ward in that bush. No reason for that Thresh to auto attack anymore. Ryze was going to get it. Could have gone to the Thresh, and I think that would have been disastrous for the Ryze, who really needs these kills because he was kind of falling behind on CS here. He's going to catch up. He needs that DPS in order to deal with Nasus, who's continuing to stack MR.
Yep, and as you were saying, you know, him continuing to stack MR, he's already got a Sheen in, and I think one of the next items Ryze needs to pick up is probably a Void Staff. I mean, if
I definitely agree. If not a Void Staff, maybe at least haunting guys into a Leandry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does Leandry's look like on Ryze? It's pretty decent.
It's not bad.
Oh, that's a blind hook, everybody.
He's a little bit too far forward, though. Eve saying, no, I don't want to take your lantern. You're absolutely bonkers.
Oh, the flash into the brush. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, Ash. Oh, boy, Ash. Okay.
Nasa's backing up there. He doesn't have any mana to deal with that Ashe right now, and it's possible for him to get kited out. The Ashe has 6 kills, so but gets caught out by Warwick anyways.
Warwick is definitely going to kill her. Suppressed from the Infinite Duress there. Smite going to finish her off, and he's going to take the Gromp to add insult to injury.
Yeah, so if you're the Ashe, you should be thinking, okay, what's the biggest thing I could be doing on the map right now? Being top against a Nasus and a potential Warwick gank is not the place you want to be. She kind of really didn't, she doesn't want to be there. But look, there's not a lot of objectives for her to take. There's no bottom turret. There's no mid turret. The Dragon is going to be up well, let's see. Do we have a Dragon Timer ability here?
Dragon timer is, I have no idea right now actually. Let me see when it was last taken. Last taken at, can I see it? It's behind something. 13:42. So Dragon gonna be coming up in about a minute.
Yeah, so there's nothing for her to take even on the side of Dragon there. So she ends up going top, saying, "I want to get this top turret," but that's in part of your assessment of where I can be in terms of being the most effective. You also want to make sure you think, where can I be the least effective, and being top lane against Nasus is not the answer.
No, it definitely isn't. If I'm an AD carry, unless I'm Vayne, I don't want to be anywhere near Nasus.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So 4-man party at top. Nasus just gonna die for free here because his team is not in position, and all I'm gonna say is Shoutcast and Recovery should have been pushing something. Well, everyone showed they had plenty of vision. Oh my goodness, Soraka gonna get killed here. Oh, actually no. Wow, the arrow is gonna land. That is a point-blank bullet time onto the Gangplank, who you do not want to be near right now.
Yeah, he's definitely ahead. Has his Triforce finished, and so he's going to be doing a lot of damage here.
This turret is gonna go down really quickly. Oh, Death Sentence is going to land onto the Warwick. Are they going to be able to finish him? Rune Prison is going to go down onto him. Box as well, going to negate him from running away. And the Ignite will help to take him down. GP gonna, there we go. Look at that. Going to make that turret go away really fast.
Now, if I'm mistaken here, I thought Gangplank had a serrated Dirk. Where did that go?
He did.
Did he sell it?
He must have sold it.
I wonder why.
Why?
I mean, that's a really inefficient thing to do with your itemization like that. Just have it in your pocket. Maybe he was thinking I needed to finish the Triforce, but I think that's a kind of a mistake from him there. The armor pen would have been really nice in a lot of these fights. No reason for him to have sold that.
That's interesting. Wow. Especially like you're saying. Okay, so this is one of the things we were talking about last game about decision making and things like that. Oh my goodness! Face check a brush as Soraka. You're out of your mind.
Yep. She had no backup, no one to say, hey, sometimes as support I say, hey, I need someone to escort me to this situation. I know there's going to be some people here, but I need a ward Baron. She ends up just going by herself and ends up giving the kill up for free.
That's what they're saying.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, flash forward. Rune Prison gonna land, gonna kill the MF easily. All right, so you're gonna get that
zoning ult from the Gangplank there, giving Ashe no way out. Except she wants to go back to her turret, but he placed it so well it ended up clipping that little choke between the turret and the wall, and then the entire face of the lane. She had nowhere to go.
Yeah, so we were talking about decision making, like selling your serrated Dirk. No. And see, this is what it tells you. And then his decision there to place his ultimate, or I guess mechanically, to place his ultimate in that position to actually zone. Oh my god, Infinite Duress gonna go out again. Gonna finish off this Ashe. She needs to stay away from this guy.
Seriously.
Rune Prison gonna land. Blade gonna come in. Hook onto Soraka as well. Not gonna be able to jump in for it. Box. Man, that's so much healing going out. Warwick's still alive. Finally drops down. No, they don't have anything left for this Nasus. Nasus is gonna be able to kill the Rise in a second. Rise. Oh my goodness. Just definitely gonna die. I think MF is going to pick this up on the backside.
What?
Whoa. The flash bullet time. Going to get it. A lot of resources burned before the Nasus even arrive. If nothing.
Did such an amazing job staying alive there. I guess nobody on the side of your extraction squad. Oh wait, no, they do have 2 executioners callings. I guess the Soraka heals were way too big. The Warwick healing off of his Q and healing off of those Soraka heals. Ended up soaking so much damage in that fight.
Alright, Ashe Arrow gonna miss there. Let me see here. Back it up a second. Okay, just want to make sure of that. Alright. Alright, we're back. We're back at live. Oh no, we're not. We're a little short.
So interesting itemization coming out of the MF. She has Serrated Dirk, and she also has Duskblade finish. What that means is she's going for that lethality build on NMF. I tried that before in terms of lower elo games. I'm not really sure it's good at carrying. Yeah, it chunks a lot of people out. Soraka gets caught here.
Whoa, is there a box? There is no box, so taking that into 4 people, probably not the best. Ashe gonna get out of here after Infinite Duress. Redemption gonna heal people up. Are we gonna get another hook? No, not another hook. Rise flanking the backside. There's no GP. There's no GP in this fight. Box gonna come down. NASA's just gonna get free Qs onto it. Oh my god, the Thresh is gonna drop down now. And Ashe gets finished off on the backside of that with the Warwick getting onto her again. Warwick gonna live, not gonna have enough damage, not gonna have a heal reduction because the GP's still not here. Rune Prison's gonna save the Rise, but I don't think. Oh, big gangplank barrels. Oh boy. Woo boy.
That was a lot of damage. It was possible for him to have killed a whole bunch of that. I think if he had serrated Dirk, he might have done a bit more. I mean, he did end up selling it for the Triforce, but the biggest deal is he ends up doing that and losing like 600 gold. That's like giving up 2 kills.
Yep. Yep. And like I said, if he just had that little bit, wow, Rise walking around to see what's going on as they start to ping onto the Rise. They're kind of split on what they want to do here. Okay, so
Rise didn't need to be in that position. Should have just given up the dragon. It's not really worth giving up a kill as well. Thresh going in as well.
Thresh going
one by
in.
one.
What is happening right now?
They're a little bit worried about the GP being back there. They don't have wards on that side of the map, so maybe they were afraid that GP was going to walk up and destroy them.
He has a barrel chain waiting.
Yep.
He's waiting patiently. Oh, big damage. Half HP onto the Kassadin. Kassadin's going to flash that wall after being exhausted. Good decision by him, I'd say. I think he may have been able to just kind of hold out and rift walk again, but
cheeky little play there from Gangplank too. What he did was he used the Farsight totem in that bush that he was sitting in on top of himself. And the reason that he did that was to basically make it seem like he was really far away and using that totem to gain vision of that bush. And so Kassadin didn't even bother to check it because he thought, oh, no one's going to be in that bush because someone's checking to see who's in it.
Those little mind games you got to play sometimes.
Yeah, that was super tricky from the Gangplank there.
Oh, Gangplank going to cover the retreat there. Going to land Death Sentence onto him. Nasus going to die even though he ults. Ashe Arrow going to hit onto Soraka. Priority. Rise going to finish up the MF in the jungle here. They're going to continue to chase. Maybe going to get something onto Warwick. Soraka did not die in that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that she lives, but we'll see what they have. You know, there's only her, Warwick, and Kassadin up here against the defense. What is this Thresh play?
Woo! Wow, Evelyn gonna die for free basically at that point. Everyone trying to fight to zone for this turret. You could just take the turret.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not really sure what that flash play was from that Thresh. Definitely embarrassed. He just kind of stood still and hit stop. Mechanical misplay there. I mean, going for the flash flay is fine, but I think in a situation where all you want to do is take turret and then maybe even an inhibitor afterwards, there's no reason to start that play in the first place. So I do see a lot of supports and a lot of tanks that do that, that are in situations where it should be objective focused, and then they turn it into something that's kill focused.
Barrow Chain's gonna land, Flay is gonna land, and Q's gonna hit and follow. Gonna finish off the Kassadin in the jungle here.
Yeah, that Infinity just doing lots of work. It's just the two of them right now.
The heal reduction's coming out. GP is on the wrong side of this. The Lantern doesn't go over the wall. Not going to be able to get him out. Barrel Chain going to chunk people for half HP. MF going to get pulled in with the Death Sentence. It's not going to be enough here. Nasus flash forward into a box. GP ult going to cover the retreat for them. Another Barrel Chain coming, boys. Big damage onto the Nasus. Nasus falls down. Warwick still sustaining, but gonna get dropped. Soraka Banana gonna finish off the GP, but Rise coming up on the backside of that, gonna portal his way in. Uh-oh.
Thresh looking for the flay.
Thresh flay. Two-man flay. Lantern can't be clicked like that, Thresh. Still gonna get the MF on the other side of that. Death Sentence gonna miss. Rise just gonna kind of chase this one out. And they should be able to push and get something here. Redemption hits. Oh, sorry. You're dead. Death Sentence gonna pick that one up.
So they end up getting the kills, but there's not really much more they can get on the map. I think Dragon would have been a smart option for Eve. It looks like they're pinging for it, but Eve is also pinging for the tower. It's possible for them to get both. I think they can, but the Warwick is responding to this bot lane. We'll see if he ends up getting himself killed for being a little bit too overzealous here with Ash behind the Evelynn here.
Wow. Okay. So infinite duress again onto the Evelynn. He's gonna get Q maybe. Oh no. Gonna get kited out. Ash will die in trade for that.
Yeah, you do not flash forward on top of Warwick, no matter how low he gets. Even with your Executioner's Calling, he is going to kill you. A mistake from Ash to save the Evelynn there, who didn't really need saving.
Chasing forever. Oh man, I would have manned up and just went through that turret. I'm telling you right now, I would have manned up and went right through that turret.
So it looks like a lot of this bottom pressure is going to be made for this dragon. That's the only really big objective on the map. MF herself being caught out in the wrong place.
Ooh.
No reason to be up there without any vision.
Just wow. Well, dragon gonna be taken for free at this point. Another hook's gonna land. The vision right now. I want to say they got really good vision for like these awkward areas. Ignite gonna help to finish it off, and Ride's gonna get some kills there. Yeah, exactly. Holy. You said it right, Bree. Holy. Oh man, I don't know what is going on here, but yeah, for anybody who was watching, whenever you're gonna try and this is backtracking a while, but I had lost my train of thought when all the fights started happening. Whenever you're trying to dive a turret, if you're like, oh, we just need to get this objective, or you're looking to zone, wait until the turret's low. Like not half.
Or at least just dead. I mean, I think it was like, what, 5 versus 3?
Yeah, it was 5 versus 3. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and there's no reason to dive like that. I mean, this inhibitor should have been down a long time ago. They could have gotten Baron if they had this down.
They're pinging Baron.
So, yeah, I'm not sure that's a smart call for the Baron ping. Warwick just came up. He has the move speed from it being later than 20 minutes in the game here, so he's already back and ready to go. So kind of some delayed plays here from Yordle Extraction Squad. The correct macro play earlier was to not go for the turret dive, get the inhibitor, go back, wait for that mid pressure to go on, maybe get bottom soft pushing, and then just go for Baron and get that for free, and then move top wave, slowly end the game that way. But it looks like this game is just going to be kill centric.
Oh boy, MF
caught out again.
About to say the same thing. Oh my god, GP has been phenomenal on covering people's retreats with that ultimate.
He's been kind of the star player of this game. Ash is doing okay, but makes some decisional errors over there against the Warwick. Ends up taking him down anyways.
Wow, Soraka gonna get death sentence as well. So for the last, I don't know,
Baron if they're smart.
10-15 minutes, the thresholds have been on point. I ain't even mad.
Pretty good.
Ain't even mad.
So it looks like they're calling for top here. I think that's the suboptimal play, but at least they're grouped and making this decision together. I mean, you do see in a lot of solo queue a lot of mismatched decisions. No one's calling for Baron, and half the team ends up going top, and half the team goes to Baron. They're all collectively up here, gonna take this turret.
Ooh. That's gonna be a quick one. Oh my goodness, Nasus. Death sentence again, as we were saying. And this is possibly the game.
Possibly the game. Really good decision here by Yordle Extraction Squad, sticking together and saying, okay, what's our decision? What are we going to do to end this game now? And they end up getting top and possibly the game off this. Another beautiful cube.
All right, another little flash play in there. You can't even talk about. Oh, damage, and you're dead. Bye. Nothing left to say here. People just hitting for kills. Just keep hitting.
Yeah, just pad that KDA.
Keep hitting.
And end the game. I can't wait to see these damage charts. I'm pretty sure Gangplank is going to be on the top of that by far.
Oh yeah? Wait. Don't look. All
right, not looking.
All right. Okay, so based off of we're gonna take a look based off of itemization, kills. So let's try and order this, and then we're gonna go on the side of Yordle Extraction Squad.
Okay.
So we think, or you say you think GP top damage.
It's possible that Rise overtook them. I took him. I think it's going to be close. I put GP, let's see, at a 31-minute game, with the amount of damage that he did, I'm going to guess 23. Let's see, 23,000. I'm going to guess Rise is somewhere at around 19,000.
Okay. So,
All right.
um,
Still
where's
hot
that?
checking.
Where's Evelyn?
The Evelyn. Ooh, I don't know. She did get some good damage off, but I think she's going to be a little bit on the low side. Still pretty high in terms of the game. I'm going to put her down at about 14,000.
Okay, so let's see what we got. GP has done 34K.
Holy smokes.
Rise at 33. Literally almost the exact same damage.
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn down to 13.
So I got that right, but I
And
just didn't. I underestimated the amount of
the
damage.
amount
that
of damage that Gangplank and Rise are doing.
Yeah, I know those two charts were going to be extremely high. I didn't know it was going to be that high. I missed it by about 10K, but I mean, obviously not surprising, right? I think Gangplank's itemization of going Triforce against that Kassadin matchup from the start was extremely smart. Getting the Sheen so that he can get those Q auto attack Thunderlord procs and just completely humiliates the Kassadin in lane for responding even with that Kassadin pick against the Gangplank. Super smart itemization there and plays from him throughout the game, ends up getting the most damage. Really smart play by him. And some pretty good decision making too. His roams around the map were pretty on point, and his Gangplank ults were also really on point. Sort of giving the Yordle Extraction Squad a half member or even a full member on the map with those global ults, adding pressure, adding the ability to do to get extra objectives on the map. So I think overall MVP of the game goes to Gangplank. Probably the vast majority of the reason why Yordle Extraction Squad won. He kept his laner down. Kassadin only does 7,990 damage in the game. Ends up, that's a 5 or 6 times difference between the two in terms of damage. So Kassadin, completely irrelevant, does almost as much damage as Soraka.
Yep, and you look at the Thresh damage.
Yeah, Thresh damage, double that of Kassadin as well. Also doing more than the Evelyn. His Qs were on point. His plays were on point. I think his map movements were also pretty decent as well. The Evelyn didn't really do too much in terms of being in the right places at the right time, in my opinion. Her decisions to be in certain places wasn't as good as the Warwick, who was catching out people like Ashe and catching out people like Ashe and even the Evelyn in certain cases. So I think the Warwick did an excellent job in terms of being in the right place at the right time. Obviously, it helps when you have Blood Scent and someone's really low. Even the Evelyn, who you can't see, ends up giving you that extra buff to be in those places at the right time. But still, really great job on him to get those kills where he can and hopefully get his team ahead. But I think part of the reason why Cho'Gath and Recovery had a difficulty here was the decision from the MF to go lethality. I think what she needed was to have RNG go the Infinity Edge into Static Shiv build because lethality ended up doing nothing against the Thresh in several of those fights, who was always in the front. And I think she just needed to do more damage and be there where Warwick and Nasus couldn't really do a lot of damage themselves.
I agree, because if you have that time to just, like you're saying, stand there and just press R and everybody's squishy, sure, knock yourself out, go double lethality cleaver or whatever. But you don't have that when you have a Thresh who is constantly trying to get towards you to stop that. When you have a Rise who wants to run at you, and Evelyn could just come up and flank you. GP ult, like, you're not standing there to channel your ult while GP ult's on top of you. Right. Or barrel chains. There's too much stuff to dodge for you to say, oh, I'm just going to get to stand here for free. And when you don't have, you already know Kassadin's going, even if you came into the game going, I'm going lethality. When Kassadin gets bodied that early in the game, you go, I need crit.
Right, and there's definitely a bit of dyssynergy here between the MF and the Soraka. Soraka's going to go Ardent Sensor. It's going to give MF that extra attack speed at 25% there. And so going full lethality like that doesn't really synergize well with that Ardent Sensor build. Yep. So I think that's a mistake from the MF to not recognize her place in this game as being the RNG, Static Shiv, Rapid Fire Cannon, stay in the back. Bullet Time isn't really going to do a lot of damage except to clean up. So she needed to be that auto attack classic AD carry champion in order to get extra damage on the board. So I think it was possible for the MF to build correctly and for them to get more damage on board, especially with some pretty non-tanky frontliners, right? Like you have Rise, who's, as far as mages go, pretty tanky. But
Yep.
it's Ryzen, Thresh, and Gangplank on the front line. It's possible as an MF to simply drop one of them and make it a 4v5 situation.
No, you're right. You needed that AD carry to be able to, especially with no tank on the other side, really, to be able to get rid of one of those damage threats. Because, as we said, Evelyn was kind of there, but
Yeah.
you have four, and if you want to constitute, Evelyn as a damage threat, you have to say that Thresh was then based on the damage that was dealt. So you don't have that time. Like, you don't have the time, the luxury. You need to be able to kill something quick.
Yeah,
oh, man.
The composition of your extraction squad even isn't that great. When you're a melee champion like Gangplank, usually it's really hard for you to go up and get those good barrels because of the fact that you can get caught or killed by a simple CC chain combo. You don't need it's really easy to take him out without any other support there for you as a frontliner. And so Eve, Gangplank, Ryze, Thresh is not supposed to be a very fun time, right? You should be getting CC'd. You should be getting chunked out for trying to even attempt a Q from the Thresh or a snare from the Ryze, or even a bomb combo from the Gangplank. You're supposed to get punished for being in the front like that, and they don't. And I think, again, part of that big reason why is because MF didn't build in response to that composition. She was thinking, well, I like lethality builds. I generally build lethality builds, so I'm going to go lethality. Without really thinking about the situation and the position she's been put in this game against that enemy composition.
Yep, and that's one of those things, like we said, building for your lane, building for your composition, building for
exactly
all that. It's not like you had yes, you have a Warwick who can hold somebody in place, but it's not like you had a Maokai. Like, you can have a Maokai who's just gonna be like, hey, I can root their entire team, or like old style Galio, who just goes in and presses R, and you're like, nobody moves. So, yeah, you definitely need to be building that crit. And I think this goes back to people being, like, really, I guess you want to say, like, locked in on the I want to build lethality. And, I mean, I understand it because, on champions like, for champions like Draven, I'm like, dude, I don't care what people say. Yes, he's going to be fantastic even if you built like IE straight into, crit. He's going to be a fantastic champion. But when when you build lethality on him because of how his ultimate works, it kind of works kind of similar to the way the MF ult works. When you throw your ult through somebody and they're squishy, you chunk them for more than half their HP because it's just a physical casted ability. So on top of his spinning axe, which does not benefit from the crit, the way it works, so you don't get the crit modifier on his bonus Q damage. So at that point, you want to go crit, that's fine. But like I think lethality, he's one of the only champions as far as like 80 carries that I think you need to be going early lethality because his mid game spike, and then the IE smooths them out into another crit item into like more of a late game damage dealer. So that doesn't work with MF, and you say that all the time because how her ultimate works is, yes, it's flat physical damage, and it does scale with the crit. But when you have such an ability where you're like, I need to be attacking, like I need to be just doing auto attack, she doesn't really have any of those modifiers where it's like, I get this steroid. The only thing she gets is that attack speed when she has W up. Like that's it. And yeah, double up hits pretty well and that kind of nonsense. But you have your E, which is just an AP ability for the most part, and a slow. So you're not going to be that I need to hit you and hit you and hit you kind of style like Draven. Like, you're not going to be more Bruiser-esque. You need to be that 80 carry who's like, if I get grabbed, I'm dead.
Right.
And I think, like I was saying, people get really, really soaked into the lethality. Oh, man, I hit somebody with a Q for 1,000,000 damage in lane.
Yeah.
And then you run into someone who has armor, and you're like, how come I don't do anything?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Thresh, why do you not take any damage? Because he has a frozen heart.
Right. Yeah, and that lethality ends up not doing a whole lot of work. And I think, Duskblade on MF is fine. I understand that in lane, if she ends up getting that double up, especially after killing a minion, which makes it even stronger, procs that Duskblade and ends up doing a lot of damage. Really popular item in Korea for a lot of MFs to go. But that doesn't mean you have to keep going lethality. He went into Yomu's Ghostblade, which gives extra lethality as well. But after that, those were his core items for the rest of the game. With Merc Treads, not even going for the Berserker's Greaves there, going Merc Treads. So her DPS at the end of the game obviously shows it ends up not being that high, and shows why this build isn't as great against that enemy composition, because of the fact that she decided to go Yoma's Ghostblade afterwards. So yeah, Duskblade perfectly fine on MF. I think that's a great first item to get. It's going to give you a lot of lane presence, especially when your support is getting Oracle Alteration to control those side bushes, so you can reset the Duskblade and then end up stacking that Q damage. But after that, I think she needed some RNG to deal with those skirmishes mid game and late game dominance of Gangplank, Evelynn, Ryze, and Thresh being in the front, doing that RNG against them.
Yeah. Oh boy. Those damage charts. Amazing. 12k damage by the Nasus though. I expected better.
Not too bad. Ryzen, ended up doing a lot of damage there as well, because he was able to get that early lead against the Nasus. And I think Evelynn coming up and Gangplank coming up, and later the rest of the team coming up to help him out was really good. Sort of relieved him from his duties and in controlling that Nasus up there, so that he could leave and do other stuff on the map. He ended up helping bottom lane as well. Was able to roam around and really press the lead that he had, and that's why he ends up doing the second most amount of damage in the game. The Void Staff also came out from him in the end. I think really smart decision there to pick that up, seeing that Nasus was building lots of MR.
Yeah, man. I wonder if he had gotten another, like you're saying, he built a bunch of MR. I wonder if him getting an earlier armor item would have done anything there.
Yeah, and I didn't catch this till now, but I think that Nasus was trying to build a Triforce towards the end of the game. It's Phage, Sheen, Stinger, so those are Triforce ingredients.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's bad, especially late game. He picked up a Glacial Shroud there to go for the Frost Gauntlets, which I think would have been fine for the Sheen procs, especially against that enemy composition where Gangplank is running away with the game. I think that would have been fine, but going Triforce is odd, and I think a bad decision to get late game, because I believe he started building this at maybe the 25-minute mark there, because I saw the Glacial Shroud there, and I thought, oh, this guy's going Gauntlets. That's great. It's a pretty decent item. Helps you wave clear, gives you that extra cooldown reduction, so you end up doing more damage with your Q throughout a fight. Really great decision, but I don't know why he started picking up Triforce pieces. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, you could tell him and the Warwick were together because they have the same name.
Life alert.
Yeah. So they come to save old people who are falling on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, little did Nasus know he needed the saving himself from his own decision making. That Triforce, late game Triforce, in general, not a good idea. It's one of those items that ends up being really good mid game and early game if you can farm it quickly. But late game those stats end up being not as good as you want them to be, because the reason for that is the items in League of Legends have these extra passes and bonuses that we're all familiar with, and some of them are better than others. Infinity Edge ends up being one of those items that ends up being so good, a lot of AD carries want to finish it first. And a lot of League players should live for these passives on these items. And when it comes to Triforce, the only reason that you want to get it is because you get those stats that each individual piece provides you. Each individual piece, even building those pieces, end up really being really great for being in lane, for being in those skirmishes, because of the fact that you can pick them up 400 gold at a time. And so the reason you end up getting Triforce early is because, okay, well, sometimes when you want to farm an IE, you have to wait for 1350, right? 1,350 gold before you before you can pick up one BF sword. When you're buying Triforce, you can pick up one piece at a time. So if you go back and only have a couple of hundred gold, you can say, okay, I'll just pick up the Ruby Crystal, or I'll just pick up the Sapphire Crystal, or the dagger. And you can build that piece by piece. and that's why it ends up being good early and mid game, because you just end up getting those stats where a lot of people are trying to build bigger items that require more gold, and so it's definitely cost effective, and the reason why you get Triforce early and mid game, but getting it late game like that ends up ruining the effectiveness of those stats.
Yep.
Because of the fact that you could have been buying something that hits a bit harder or makes you a bit tankier. It ends up giving you better passive stats from those really big items, like Frost Gauntlets, that gives that AoE and that those extra stats that you need as Nasus. There's a reason why you don't get Triforce late, and that's the general reason why.
So if you're talking about buying items based off of passives and stuff, and if you read the passive on the Trinity Force, it's literally basically doubles your base attack damage for that hit. Not total, not bonus, but your base. So building it late in the game, as Gon was saying, doesn't really do that much, because you're basically doubling the damage that you do. If you're a champion that spams abilities and you're all about that, you get, let's say usually it's a Q that people end up spamming anyway. You get that ability on 3-second cooldown. You're now doubling your attack damage on those hits, every 3 seconds, which does a lot. Later in the game, that don't do jack.
Exactly.
Because it's your base attack damage. So that, even negating the stats that you get from the item as far as attack speed and stuff goes, you negate all that. Like, just you listen to that. If I'm an Ezreal and I have, let's say, 300 AD later in the game, and I have a Trinity Force and I Q you because I just built it, the damage I'm getting from that Trinity Force is all of like 60 damage or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, not as big as something else you could.
Hey, I guess
the opportunity cost is terrible.
Let me see what is actually, I want to, before I say it, because I know you get your base damage goes up.
Yeah, you do. It ends up being pretty decent late game, but the response to that is obviously, well, that passive is Spellblade. That's the same passive on Sheen, which costs 1,000 gold. You don't need to spend 3,000 something to get that passive.
You get 90 damage.
So if you really want the extra 90 damage, why spend all that money on a Triforce when you're basically just getting the same damage you are getting from the Sheen, which costs 3 times as less. And so, especially if you're in the position of Nasus, at least you can turn that Sheen into Frost Gauntlets, which provides you those extra stats that you need in terms of wave clear, in terms of AoE slows, in terms of armor, and cooldown reduction. These are all great stats for Nasus to have. Oh, let's not mention the massive amounts of mana that you get. But he ends up building the Phage and Stinger on top of that. So I don't know why he has a Glacial Shroud. I don't know what he was going to turn that into with the Sheen. Maybe he was going to go both Gauntlets and Triforce, which would have been completely disastrous. Maybe a Frozen Heart. But then he would have been over the CDR cap.
Yep.
So I don't know what he was doing.
Oh, and chat, I know you guys are a little confused. He said mana.
Mana.
He said some other word, but he meant mana.
Oh yeah, what did I say instead?
Mana.
Oh.
He meant mana. Don't get confused. You're all right.
It's mana.
Don't worry. He's okay. He speaks differently. You have to be accepting of that, okay? Oh, and I think Cab knew.